Hi everyone, this is Krista. Thanks for tuning in. I am in my car in the parking lot again, doing another car video. But this one is not a car video. It is a horse video. And specifically, it is about a vet check. So, long story short, I took two of my horses to the vet on Monday, one of them being Tucker, to get a reevaluation of a pre-purchase exam, which apparently he did not pass for somebody that was interested in buying him. And that's a long story, and that is a story for another video. And then I also took Wily, my little quarter Arab cross, the little buckskin quarter Arab cross that I have, into the vet as well, because he was showing some signs of lameness on the right front. Now, Wily has always been a really great little horse, and I've never even had shoes on this horse. I've had him for 10 years, since he was 4 years old. But he has been a little off recently, and the other thing is I wanted to take him to a horse show later next month actually, in April. And I have to decide whether or not I'm going to be showing him by March 18th. That's the closing date for the horse show. So I wanted to get him evaluated to see if he would be in condition for the horse show. I took him to a lesson on Saturday. He was a little off again on the right front. We have shown him up to second level in both Western and traditional dressage, and I would like to compete him at that level in April, but I have to get him in shape, and then I also have to figure out what's going to happen with this right front lameness situation. So I took him to my vet in Woodland on Monday, and we did some x-rays on him. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go and show you the x-rays on the computer in this video, and then depending on the length of time, I can also show you the recommendation that the vet gave to my shoer. And if my shoer is willing, maybe we can show you what he has in store for Wily. Here's the radiographs of the feet. We took several pictures of the right foot and one of the left foot as a comparison. This is the toe head on. As you can see, there are these little wings that shoot off from the coffin bone, and this is called sidebone in the horse. This is a fairly common issue, and both Raphael and Dorado have this in addition to Wily. It's a calcification of the collateral ligaments in the foot, and typically happens due to the concussion of the foot during work over time. I haven't experienced a lot of lameness or problems in my horses due to them having this issue. For the most part, they remain sound, and only if it's severe and causes interference with the joint, in which it's considered ringbone, or if the horse inadvertently hits the bony part of the calcification, causing bruising or chipping, does this become a problem. Here's a picture of the right solar margin. There are little crevices here which are vascular channels in the foot. In this shot you can see the navicular bone, however it's not really clear. This shot is the critical shot. Here you can see the navicular bone fairly clearly, and these areas, which are often called lollipops, indicate that the bone is eroding. Now keep in mind, this is the first time I've had radiographs taken of Wily's feet, so I have no pictures to compare as a baseline to know how long these changes have existed. He could have had these for a long time and still never experienced lameness. This is a lateral shot of the right foot, and you can see how flat his foot is, And this one is a lateral shot of the left one as a comparison. Looking at both these feet side by side, there's not a whole lot of difference in the angle of the coffin bone here. However, you can tell with the left foot that there's a bit more depth of sole and concavity at the bottom of the foot. Wily presented lameness on the right foot when lunged to the right, but not on the left when lunged to the left, even after we did a nerve block on the right side. That's pretty unusual because most horses that have this issue have bilateral lameness, although one side is typically worse than the other. This area here is the navicular bone, which acts as a fulcrum for the deep digital flexor tendon, which runs down the back of the leg over the navicular bone and attaches between the navicular bone and the coffin bone, which is here. Wily is half-quarter horse, and this problem, which is called Navicular Syndrome, is often present in this breed of horses as well as in thoroughbreds. I've had several horses with this problem over the years. I'm not a vet or an expert by any means, but I have just had a lot of personal experience with this problem, and I've done a lot of research on both the problem and how to treat it. Here's the discharge instructions that my vet gave to me to give to my farrier. The treatment is for shoes and 1/2-inch wedge pads on the front feet. The idea is to protect the foot and lift the heel so there is less tension from the deep digital flexor tendon sliding over the navicular bone.
This one's definitely was down lower.
Oh, the right? Yeah.
The left front was
the left front.
52. 53 on the other one.
Okay.
But now that I'm taking some of this flare off, I'll get a bit more upright.
So he's probably putting more weight on the left foot, huh? You think? Is that why it would be?
Well, it's just growing out different.
Yeah.
And he's due for a trim, so it didn't too big a thing. Now I'll check his angles because he's about ready.
Hey.
And okay, he's a little high on the outside, the lateral side.
Okay.
Here. So I'm just going to kind of match it up. And I'll see how I'm doing as far as.
No, it's just that. Okay, I'll do that anyway.
Okay, take my square here. This will line it up with the cannon bone. We're doing pretty darn good. That's looking real good. So I want to match up these heels. I've taken off some of the flare on the front, so we have a pretty even wall, and everything's looking pretty good. We'll check the other one. We're almost ready to. I'll do a little more checking on lengthening.
Okay. So, since I don't have a mic on you, we'll see how this turns out. If not, I can.
If there's no mic, then forget it.
Of course, I have to set everything up, which I haven't done. So, well, who knows? Maybe we'll get some more business out of this.
I had a video one time. Guy he was asking me, "Do you want to have a video taken once?" And that Mike Hughes, the trainer guy.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, He goes, do you mind if I make a film? Wouldn't it? And so I thought he was going to do it someday when I was back over the stable. I looked up and he goes, Dale, say something. You're on camera.
Oh, okay.
And so
I see his, I guess he's got his own channel now. Like he has a
he says he
subscription.
gets paid by YouTube for
Yeah.
his videos. And I'm going,
Well, YouTube, and then he also has his own channel now because I see him on Facebook.
oh yeah, that's right. Come a long way since
Yeah.
when I met him. He's really done a lot with his videos and boy, he's the one. If you ever talk to him, he loves talking about it.
I know him anyway because he used to do clinics. He used to organize clinics for Jick Baloo, and I used to ride with her. So that's how I knew him.
Well, he's doing real well with his videos.
Good.
This stuff. So, and he seemed to tell me about it. And so I think he likes talking about it.
Dale mentioned that Wily has very little palmar angle, which is the angle at the heels.
See these shoes? These are proper balance.
Okay.
And they're rounded on the edges.
Are those natural balance shoes?
Natural balance.
Okay, cool.
And they'll break over pretty good. You can get more elaborate, but these are pretty good shoes. See, these will set his toe back, his breakover point back.
Okay.
So, and that's what they really want.
Yeah.
But there's equilibrium shoes that would work real well. And I think we used them on.
We've done on Dorado, yeah.
Yeah, something like that would work. The rocker toe is what most, before they came out with all those fancy shoes, rocker toes were really used.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
So you're gonna cold shoe, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's not probably used to hot shoeing.
Yeah, no, he's not used to any shoeing. He's
know,
never had
so,
shoes on in his life.
I tend to do it mostly cold, as you've
Okay.
seen. And so we won't scare him too any more than we have to.
Yep.
Okay, this one needs to be spread. And the other one.
Wow, your first pair of shoes, buddy.
This almost fits. Perfect. Alright, so now check this. This one has definitely narrower. So quickly
You think I can ride him tomorrow in my lesson?
yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Take it slow. Let him get used to have the shoes on.
Okay.
It's new to him. He may act weird a little bit, but with the weight, he could pull the cat with boots on thing.
What?
The cat with boots on.
Oh, you mean he could strip
Well,
out?
I don't
Your better leg for me?
well, I don't think he'll do it much, but he
Yeah.
might kind of go, what? He might feel different.
Does that have the copper in it? Is that? Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, so it doesn't have copper toxin in it. Okay. Well, it looks like copper toxin. Yeah. Wily's like, not too bad. Probably better than Raphael. You're a horse. Woohoo! Oh, really? Okay, stop. And a boy. Good boy, Wiles. Dude. See?
Look how soft this stuff is.
What?
Look at how soft this stuff is. He looked like he had way more foot than I thought he had.
Yeah.
And even the back, some kind of.
He's so cute with his shoes on.
I know.
He's such a cute little dude.
Wow, I just touched my rasp and I got myself.
Oh no.
I do that. Just.
Here's the finished product.
Yep, you're almost done. Might trim off some of that green.
Oh, I'm videoing right now. I didn't realize I was doing that. Okay, there it is.
There it is.
Finished product.
Finished product.
The day after my appointment with Dale, I took Wily to a lesson with my trainer, Laura Blanton, with Cottonwood Farm Dressage. I wanted to get her opinion on his level of soundness and whether or not he could get in shape for the show in April. He might have been just slightly off on the right front. However, a bigger problem appeared to be his left hind, especially during the collected canter. He was just not able to bend his hock very well. During my vet check, in which his Navicular Syndrome was diagnosed, I also had his hind legs checked as well, and he did come up positive on a flexion test for his left hock. I didn't think a whole lot about it at the time. I've dealt with a lot of horses with hock issues, and a lot of times they'll just warm out of it if you warm them up slowly. But this really appeared like it was giving him some problems, especially during work. Laura and I decided to nix the plans for the horse show in April so I could focus on his rehabilitation. And I also booked another appointment with Dr. Harrison so I could look into his hock issues more. That appointment is going to be on Monday, so I will take him in and most likely get additional radiographs on his hock, and I might look into additional treatments like hock injections. So that is where the vet will inject a combination of hyaluronic acid and a steroid directly into the joint capsule. Normally we do that for both hind legs, for both hocks. It's now past the original cutoff for the show entry, And I wasn't planning on talking about current events at all in this video, but when I originally did the vet check, which was on March 2nd of 2020, and I originally started videoing for this project, which was like the day after, a lot has changed. It's now March 19th. So between that time, the world has changed drastically. Not just my world, but the world in general. And things are just a little bit turbulent right now. USEF, which is the primary governing organization for horse shows in the US, had sent out a notice on March 13th stating that all of the horse shows that they were associated or affiliated with were being suspended. Now, this horse show that I had originally planned to attend had originally been affiliated with USEF, but they also had been affiliated with a couple other organizations like the Arabian Horse Association and the California Dressage Association, and they were planning on going through with the show. I think at this time they are still planning on holding the show in April. However, unfortunately for me, I will not be showing. Showing is not in my plans for the near future, and I don't think it's in the plans for many equestrians. Since my channel is related to finances surrounding horse ownership, I thought I'd mention about the costs for Wily's Diagnostics and maintenance requirements now that we've determined our next courses of action. So the whole cost for my vet visit in early March was $620, and that was for both Wily and Tucker. Wily's share of the vet costs included an exam fee of $120, a Palmer plantar digital nerve block to have the source of his pain narrowed to the back of the heel. That was $35. His radiographs were $275, and his share of the office visit to Dr. Harrison's clinic was $17.50. So I paid $35 for both him and Tucker to take them there. Wily was super brave and awesome through the process of taking the radiographs, and he was so good I didn't even need to have the vet sedate him. That is like the first time I haven't had to use sedation on a horse that I've had x-rays done on since the early 2000s when I started getting back into horses. So I did save a little bit of money there. Personally, I think these costs are totally reasonable for the services I've got. I totally trust Dr. Harrison. I've used her for nearly 14 years, and I live in California, so these costs are just a ballpark. They may be different in other areas, so just keep that in mind if you are faced with doing some of these procedures. Wily also has some maintenance costs. So his farrier costs have been upgraded. I used to get a trim for him every 6 weeks at a cost of $50. And now I have a cost of $125 every 6 weeks to include the front shoes and pads. I also trust Dale completely. I think he is totally reasonable with his fees, and I've been working with him for a long time, and I feel he is a very skilled farrier. We've also decided to put Wily on Equiox, which is an NSAID pain reliever for horses, and that will be costing about $45 a month. And the Hock injections, if I decide to get them, maybe about $450. Normally when we do Hock injections, we do both Hocks. I've had them done on Dorado as well, so I'm familiar with the process. And if those types of things do not resolve his soundness issues, I may be looking at an additional injection in either the coffin joint or the navicular bursa. Probably the cost for those is similar to what I would be paying for Hock injections. And another possible treatment would be osphos, which is a bisphosphonate, which is similar to what people take when they are suffering from osteoporosis. Now, I'm not familiar at all with that treatment. I've never had a horse on osphos, but I heard it's about $1,000 on the conservative side. It might be more money than that. If you have had a horse that's been on osphos, or if you've had any experience with it, it would be great to know that. Feel free to leave a comment in the section below and let me know what your experience is. I'm going to use this time to focus on the care of my horses and enjoy the time I have with them at home. So our plans don't always work out. As equestrians, we all know that. And right now, the plans are in a lot of turmoil. But anytime we have to go through that, it's just an opportunity to change and grow and reflect on the joy that we have with our horses. So thank you so much for watching this. If you've watched it all the way through, I really appreciate your support. I hope you found this video both informative and entertaining. And if you liked it, feel free to give me a thumbs up. And if you like the content and you think you would like to see other videos like this, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And if you have any ideas for videos you would like to see, feel free to let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to be notified every time I post a new video, hit the bell. Also, if you have your own story of Navicular Syndrome or a lameness in your horses you want to share, comment section below. So that's all I have for today. As always, think outside the dressage court, stay inspired, and bye for now.